and welcome to day 28 of the No New November channel. We're so very nearly there now. We've got just a few more days left and then we'll be able to create our lovely journals. I mean, I know some people have already started to put them all together. I have as well, but the next few things are kind of just like what's the word? They're kind of like upgrading your journal. None of them are really necessary. They're just kind of like tweaks to add to your works that you've got. So today we're going to be making some washi tape sample cards. Now these are great for happy mails, etc. However, they don't have to be just for happy mails. What they're quite great for is when you're going away on holiday and you're taking your journal, particularly for travel journals, and you don't want to carry a load of supplies with you. But if you have one of these cards with a variation of a few different of your favourite washi tapes, you'll always have some with you in order to decorate your work, your journal as you use it, adding photos, etc. as you take them, particularly if you have a portable printer. I don't, but I know it's quite a popular thing these days. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off the edge of this particular one, because where it's folded it's got a slightly bent edge because it's come off of a box. That will do. I'll just trim this. It's definitely getting darker here in the UK as we approach Christmas time. It's pretty dark out there now, despite it being only about 4 o'clock here in the afternoon. It's kind of very dusky at the moment. So it's quite nice. I've got out my window, I can see there is a playing field right outside my window, and I can see somebody's got their Christmas tree up in the distance. Outside, lots of light decorations, which is quite nice to see from my window, particularly when I'm crafting. I don't have a particularly big window. This is the room which I use for my craft room. Is a box room. It's really quite a small room. It does its job for me. It's more than enough for me, for what I want it to do anyway, but it is quite a small room. It's technically classed as a third bedroom. You can just about fit a bed and a chest of drawers in here, but that's about it. It's quite a small room. So I've got this piece. I'm now going to decide how tall I want it to be. So I'm going to just quickly measure this. So this is kind of measuring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just under 9 inches. Sorry, just under 10 inches. So I'm going to cut this off at 4.5, I think, across here. I might actually use my knife. I'm just going to get my cutting board. I see it a bit better on this. Get my cutting board and my craft knife. So in centimetres, this is just under 25 centimetres. So I'm going to cut this I'm going to take this piece and do one which is 15 centimetres roughly. I want a decent piece, so that when I'm out I can take a reasonable amount with me. And pop that to side because I'll use that for a smaller one later. Now I'm going to just quickly tag off the top, so I'm just gonna okay. Right, now you can, as I've showed you in the past, you can use laminated pieces. So these are the business card laminators, sized lamination pouches, and I've just put inside one of my washi stickers, one of the washi stickers I've got. Between the two pieces, laminated it and together, and then you can wrap this around, which is quite an effective use. But as we're using scraps, I am going to use some a sticker on it, a washi sticker, but I won't use one as big as this because I'm just going to put it at the top here, away from the washi stickers, the washi tape, as the washi tape will eventually come off. And I don't want to pull off the washi tape sticker. So I'm just finding one which I like. I've got one here with a blue butterfly on. Just take this off. Pop this on the top here. Slightly skew it. Okay. You can do a similar kind of thing to what you've done before as well with the dashboard. You can put a bit of washi tape around the edges, but you do have to be careful that when you're taking off your washi tape samples that you'll be able to get them on and off without it interfering with your decorations. Actually, I'm going to put this on the squint, on the slant. There we go. Okay. Finishing that on properly. Now the washi tapes that I want to put on here, I want to put on some plainish, so I'm going to go with the blue theme. I'm just going to get some of mine out here, so I'm going to use this check. I also want to put on something with a bit of interest, so I'm going to put the keys on. I'll also put on this date kind of numbers, and I want to put on this lovely blue tape here as well. You can get some with different widths, which are quite nice too to use. You can use the big chunky ones, but I tend not to use those as I'm on this kind of thing, because the chunky ones I tend to use to close pages, to decorate, or to bind when I'm binding a journal, but not for kind of the little decorations during the while I'm using it. So the first one I'm going to put down is this one. It just takes a little bit of time. You can put as much or as little on this as you want. This I'm going to, I start off by measuring the first one being, so it's straight across from the bottom. So I just want to make sure that the line I'm creating is kind of parallel to the bottom of this, so I'm just using the lines as a guide. Oops, pulled it off, that was useful. I'm going to pop it down a little bit because I don't think I need. Just pop it about there. So I've got this, the first piece down, and you're literally just going to wrap this around and then just keep wrapping until you're ready, and you can just tear off pieces that you want to use when you're ready to use them. You can use this to store all of your washi tapes. If you have time to do it, you can go through and basically wrap each roll onto one of these cards, and then it's easier to store. It doesn't take up as much space, but it is time consuming, particularly if you have got a lot of them. So this is quite a nice washi tape because it's got two colours to it. It's got this pink colour and then it will go into a blue colour. So I want to make sure I've got a good amount on this. I'm just lining it up so it's following the same line from before. Now you really kind of want to make sure the perspex sheet that you're using for this is quite a thick perspex, rather than, not perspex, but the acrylic packaging that you get on things. So this came off of a box of slippers. Some of these can be a lot more flimsy. This is quite a flimsy one compared to this one. This one's about the same as this. So you just have to choose your the packaging you're using carefully. The laminating pouches, I tend to get the heavier ones for this kind of thing. And then when you get to the point where you think you've got enough on it, I think I just want to pop a little bit more on this one. I'm going to keep wrapping until the blue shows up again, I think, on this one. So there's the blue. Oop, there's the blue. I'm going to just do a few more. There we go. And I'm just literally going to tear it. Pop this one away. Okay, choose my next one. So I think I want going to pop this one on next. Again, I'm going to choose carefully where I'm going to put it. I want it to be so it's relatively parallel to the current one, leaving yourself a gap. So I'm going to pop it along here. Making sure it stays straight. There we go. Quite dark in here today, apologies for that. That is largely because of the outside being considerably darker. Now where this is, where I've hand cut the sides of these, it's not perfectly straight. So I'm just going to line this up so it is straight for the purposes of storing it. That'll be enough. That's going to bug me, so I'm going to straighten that. So let's line it up on, sorry, I'm doing this, lining it up on one side. There we go. So you just keep them lining up to the same place. Is everyone pleased with their current creations? Have you enjoyed this month of using things you already have in the store, and also trying to use things that you would normally throw away as well, or might dispose of in another way, throw away, recycle, etc. This is a nice way of basically getting free materials for you to use. I'm not the first person to do this. It's quite a common thing in the junk journal world, I think, or at least my understanding of it is. But it's quite a nice way to just, yeah, use some things up. So I'm gonna pull that off, cut that, tear it, and stick it down. Let's put this one away. Now I'm going to put the keys on next. So I'm lining it up again so I can get a flat. Just trying to separate my piece. Here we go, flat across there. Right, again, this is slightly skew, but that's perfectly fine, easily fixed. You can't tell when you're actually doing it, or it's not perfect, it just does. So I'm gonna have to be really careful with this one, because some of them you find that the sticky is stronger than others, and tearing it off, like rolling it off like this, can be quite well, easy to rip it as you're doing it. So I'm trying to be as careful as I can when I'm going around, and I'm trying to just build them to around a level where I feel comfortable that I can just tear bits off as I need them. I will be mindful when I stop doing this wrap and I tear it off. I'll be mindful of where I'm tearing off, because I don't want. So I'm gonna tear it off here at the end of this key, the beginning of the next one, because I don't like if I've got a pattern on it like this. I like to rather than rip it in half, the pattern, save it, because it's easier to do. Better to do even. I'm also going to add, I think, because I've got enough space on this, so I'm not going to put this one on first. I'm going to actually grab this one with feathers on, which is quite nice. So again, I'm going to line it up. And pop the feathers straight. Oops. Sorry, this can be a little bit tedious. I'm not going to lie, particularly if you're doing multiple ones of these. You may not. You may only do the one. They act as decoration as well, on their own. I like to store them either in one of the front pockets in my journal, or in my on my dashboard, depending on how full my dashboard is. The pocket on my dashboard anyway. And so I'm coming to the end. I'm just going to tear it off after that one, and then let's put the last one on. So again, lining it up on the board. This one is one of the ones where the glue is very strong, so it can be quite difficult to separate this washi, so I really hope it doesn't tear while I'm doing this. You can tell because it leaves some of the stick behind on the washi as you take it off, but I think if you go slow it should be fine. Okay, let's put that on across there. I mean, I haven't been doing blues throughout this, but I just really love these. Blue is one of my favourite colours, I'm not going to lie, but I don't tend to use it in my journals very often. But I buy all these lovely supplies, so I'm trying to use a bit of blue in everything that I do now. So this is going to take a little bit longer because I'm just being careful as I peel this, because I don't want to tear it. I'll show you one where I have done that. You can see it here a little bit, the edges here where it's torn and got stuck. Now this one I don't mind so much because I use this almost like a detailing, but I try not to do to get stuck with it like that. This is just because this was cheap washi tape. I got that's the set off of Amazon. I think it was like £10 for a set of like 10 reels, and you don't get very much on them. And like I said, the sticky is very, very strong, but they are very pretty patterns. So yeah, it's kind of for what I wanted it to do, it's okay. It was filling a gap of what I had in my stock. I didn't have very many like basic floral washi tape. I had some foiled floral ones and some kind of bright colours, and then I also had my wide William Morris ones, but not I didn't have any kind of this size patterns, so I thought I'll buy that. Bought it a while ago. I don't know if it's still available on there. I probably wouldn't buy it again now that I know that this washi is a bit strong on it, but it filled a gap. So and I think I've done that, so let's tear that off. So that is one. Now the reason I left this with a massive space up here is because I wanted to add a word sticker as well. Let me just find one that I want to add. A couple of different options here, so I'm just trying to, I think I saw also one which said learn to fly, dare to fail, refuse to sink. I'm sure it's always says learn to fly. I want that one. Just trying to see. I caught it at the corner of my eye, and it may very well have not said that, but if it does, I want it. So I'm going to try and find it. Create space. See the world. No. We'll follow your heart. We'll do a follow your heart if it fits. No, it doesn't. So I have to go with see the world. Pop all these back. Pop this underneath. What I am actually going to do is I'm going to trim this white edge off just a little bit down. I'm not going to take it completely off, I'll have a little edge, but I think it's just too wide for what I wanted to do anyway. Come on. It's going to refuse to come off if it's backing. There we go. So we have one washi tape sample tag to go in our journal. Let's bring in the other one and I'll quickly do that as well. So let me get my, this one's slightly skewy where I've cut it, so I'm just going to cut it down so it's about straight. I have to go through it a couple of times to cut through. You can do these as wide as you like, as tall as you like. You can use ordinary cardstock as well, particularly if you use like a playing card with the plastic coating on. You can just wrap those around quite easy. So, actually on this one I'm not going to do the triangle on the top, I'm just going to use the space. Now on this one I'm going to put some other colours, some other patterns, so let's go use up some of this narrow white. I've got some here with like flower pots on. I've got some fruits. Yeah, I think I'm going to put on this minty green check as well. And I want one more, I think. So which one do I want? Yeah, we'll use this one. This was a freebie I got off from with an order that I placed. Right, so which order do I want to do this in? I want this one at the top, followed by this one, I think, followed by this one, followed by this one, and this one. So start off with your first one. I hope I've got enough space for all of them. I'm going to start up here. So I'm not going to decorate this one, I'm literally just going to use the washi tape as decoration in its own right. This one's lovely washi tape. Got it free when I placed quite a big order with a Etsy channel, which I think I showed you. It was the first order, so this was from Gratitude Notebook, I think. And it's really lovely. I wouldn't have actually chosen it myself. I don't think they had it on their website, or at least I didn't recall seeing it when I was looking through their various listings. I probably, from a picture, I might not have chosen it, but actually I really quite like it. It's interesting when you get things like that, isn't it? When you find something that you wouldn't normally buy, but you turn out loving it. So I know this is probably very boring for you guys watching me sit here and wrap washi tape around some plastic but I find it quite therapeutic. So I'm just finding the end on this one, and I'm going to line this up again. Don't want a massive gap, so I think I'll just do about that. Yep. Okay. Where I've actually cut this with a scalpel this time, not scalpel, craft knife even. It's straighter, so I don't have to be a bit as careful how I'm wrapping it. It kind of goes where I want it to go anyway. As always, if you are using a craft knife, please be careful. We don't want to have any accidents. Make sure you recap straight after use. I have known people who have had some rather horrific accidents with their craft knife. So trying to be careful. Yeah, to be fair, you can be really, you know, you can have some pretty nasty accidents with a lot of things in the craft room, to be fair. I was using my sewing machine once. My nan, when it happened, she said to me, "Now you're officially a nuisance." She went, well, how did she say it? I can't remember. She went something along the lines of, "Now you're officially a professional sewer." Who had a sewing machine accident. And I'd been sewing some elastic, and I'd pulling it down to keep it straight, so that I created the ruffles as I was sewing, and I was paying more attention to what I was pulling rather than my hand going onto the machine. And at first I didn't even feel it. It was it happened so fast that all I felt was the machine go ka-chunk ka-chunk, and I was just like, oh, okay. Looked up and I was like, ah! my needle's in my finger. I was like, oh no. I pulled it out and it got stuck. So I ended up having to go and have plastic surgery to have it removed because it was wedged in my bone. Oh boy. It was not fun. I had a friend come and help me finish the project I was doing, because it was quite near deadline actually as well, and I was just like, no, I can't be dealing with this right now. Going to A&E, they tried to pull it out with pliers. That didn't happen. What I had when I went to A&E was a bit of string coming out of a hole in my finger. Oh dear, sorry if you're squeamish. I probably shouldn't go into that much detail. Have any of you had any accidents like that happen? I've heard of a lot worse, so if that's my accident, then I'm quite happy that that was it. It wasn't too wasn't that dramatic. At least I was able to. The machine had completely, the needle had completely snapped in several places, so I could move my hand. My hand wasn't stuck under the machine. Got a few more. This one's really lovely. So if you can see, it's got some various different so we've got berries, some grapes, some blueberries, some apples, all sorts of fruit on this one. All sorts of colours, which is nice because it goes with a lot of things. I think we're coming to the end. Sorry, my cat's playing. Keeps running in and out of the room. He's a little bit crazy sometimes. Right. So now to the green check. For a very long time, I never bought any of the checks, because I thought, oh, they're so boring. But actually, they make a huge difference just to have a little bit on your artwork, but just to have a teeny tiny piece is enough, really. to add a bit of dimension to your piece. I very rarely use it as a full strip, but on its own it becomes part of like a decoration, I guess. But now I wouldn't be without them. They're kind of such a staple for me. In fact, I've ordered pretty much just can't remember, it must have been the end of October. I ordered on Etsy some wide kind of craft paper washi tapes, which I'm looking forward to receive, but they are coming from China, so they do take a little bit longer to come, using a discount which I've been given. So yeah, no. Burp. Burp, burp. Right, I think we're at the end of this one. And then this is the last one. I might have space for one more, like a narrow one maybe afterwards. So this is various different plant pots. No, I'm not going to have enough space, so I'm just going to give myself a decent amount of space on this one. Straighten that up. There we go. And around we go. Here we go, round the roundabout, roundabout. Oh dear, I'm officially lost it in my craft room. It's my happy place. This is the place where I'm able to be who I am, who I want to be, and not care about anything else. Well, that's wrong. I do care about other things, but it becomes my zone out space where I can just be who I want to be and craft to my heart's content. There we go. So I am actually going to trim this down a little bit because that's going to annoy me, it being just a little bit off too deep. So I'm just going to come along here and trim it to about the same width as that, the top one. How have I done that? I've actually managed to cut my... That's how sharp this knife is. I managed to cut through metal. Whoop. I think I have to do it the other way. I was trying to do it so I could cut it off the edge, but it's just moving too much, so there we go. Just pops off. Now where's my lid? Up there. There we go. So we've got 2 washi tape samples tags. I hope you've enjoyed today's film. Tomorrow is tomorrow is the wrap, I believe, the cover wrap, the journal cover tie. So that will be interesting. Haven't made one of those before with fabric, so it should be new. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care, all the best, bye now.